In-depth football coverage from The Athletic is now just £1 per week. See the link in the description to sign up today. Roberto De Zerbi is currently one of the most interesting and innovative coaches in world football. Despite a relatively unremarkable CV, his Sassuolo team have grown increasingly impressive during his tenure and sat second in Serie A after 7 games played. And while his critics suggest his teams can't defend and that his attacking play is too intricate and showy, Sassuolo have nonetheless been very effective. As The Athletic's Serie A correspondent James Horncastle explains, it's a nonsense. There is always an aim behind the aesthetic at Sassuolo. De Zerbi's strategy is holistic. Intricate build-up play, under pressure and in tight spaces should improve a player's technique. It encourages them to take responsibility, and when a move like this comes off, it boosts self-esteem. That's the multiplier effect at the core of De Zerbi's philosophy. What is especially interesting is what De Zerbi does differently to what we might expect from teams playing his favoured system, the 4-2-3-1 and the structure he was forced to employ against Napoli, the 3-4-3. Sassuolo are a side who try to retain possession and make a lot of passes. According to StatsBomb, they've made the most short passes in Serie A so far this season and the second most between 15 and 30 yards. And only 6 teams have tried fewer long passes or passes over 30 yards. This style of football requires a lot of movement and ball rotation, and this starts at the back. Now, in a normal 4-2-3-1, one of the midfield pair generally drops in to offer a passing option to the centre-backs or keeper, while the full-backs push high and offer width, and the wide forwards tuck in. This creates a sort of staggered 3-4-3. Sassuolo's full-backs do not. While they do play wide, they don't advance high as part of the build-up in their half, remaining closer to the centre-halves instead, with the more advanced wide players providing width from the touchline. Crucially, the midfield usually stay behind the opposition first line of defence. Sassuolo actively invite the press in order to play through it, rotating the ball through the defenders and using the goalkeeper, Andrea Consigli, as an additional passing option, especially very deep. This allows Sassuolo to progress the ball vertically to the midfield once the opportunity arises, finding either Manuel Locatelli, the team's hub, or Pedro Obayang in the space between the lines. These two play unusually close together, maximising the opportunity to find each other with safe passes should they receive the ball. And this was also the case when Sassuolo used the 3-4-3, with the back five creating a kind of empty box shape in possession to allow the midfield to stay up. Although on occasion Locatelli would drop in if the side were struggling to progress the ball. Sassuolo's passing, especially the wall passes, affected when the centre-back passes to a midfielder, who then passes to the other centre-back, is able to shift the opposition and open spaces. Once the midfield are in space, they can then spread the ball wide and bring the wingers into play. Sassuolo are a wide attacking team, with the attacking midfielder, usually Filip Juricic, and the prolific centre-forward Francesco Caputo looking to hit the box from deep as much as possible rather than holding the ball up and playing others in. However, they are not a crossing side. Despite developing their attacks from wide, in the final third they are most proficient when working the ball into the area through a series of quick passes and runs in behind defenders. Again, according to StatsBomb, only 4 sides have made fewer completed crosses into the penalty area than Sassuolo, and all 4 make considerably fewer passes anyway. So while the wingers stay wide, this is to stretch the opposition and allow them to receive the ball in space or create space centrally if a defender is dragged over. Either way, the wingers will then look to play it back into the midfielders, who advance, or to Juricic or Caputo. Once Sassuolo have established themselves in the opposition half in this way, they try to play quickly through and across, using the passing options afforded by a kind of staggered 2-3-5 shape to get in behind the opposition. The skill and dynamism of the wide players, Jeremy Boga and Domenico Berardi, is crucial here, as are the runs of Juricic and Caputo. And this is the technical intricacy and build-up in tight spaces referred to by James Horncastle. Sassuolo are probably the most tactically and technically exciting side in Italy after Atalanta. There are vulnerabilities, of course, as this commitment to attacking football can allow them to be countered, but for a side without many star names, Locatelli and Berardi aside, even Caputo is still underappreciated despite his 21 goals last season, Sassuolo under De Zerbi are innovative, exciting, and crucially, successful. Tifo is delighted to be able to offer full access to The Athletic now for just £1 per week. Read in-depth coverage of your favourite teams across 10 different sports, provided by some of the best sports journalists in the world. Follow the stories that you care about with closer access and intelligent takes. Whether it's sports news, tactics or finances, you'll find it all on The Athletic, alongside a host of brilliant podcasts dedicated to different teams. So, see the link in the description now. Thanks for supporting Tifo and of course watching today's video.